It's truth time, buddy. It's truth time.
That is awesome. Those are all good.
Okay, so let's go through them quickly.
Let me start with.
Did you push for the cancellation of this show?
Listen, the cancellation of this show is inevitable, okay? It was inevitable, pal.
Just leave it at that. It's a good line. Is it true when you saw Black Mass, you screamed, "No, Whitey, no, stay away from me," and you flash back?
No, I absolutely did not, but I did see Black Mass when it came out. It's a great movie. Very good. Very well done.
You nicknamed me Vampire Boy. True or false that you've actually called me for makeup tips?
That is false. That is absolutely false.
Okay.
I don't ever wear makeup, and you wear too much of it.
Okay, so it balances out perfectly then.
It does. It does.
December the 6th, 2014, just about a year ago, you signed CM Punk. Did you think that he would fight within the first year?
I didn't know. You know, it's the first time this guy's ever trained to fight. The guy's never wrestled. He professional wrestled, but he's never wrestled. He will fight next year. He will fight next year, 100%.
And how much leeway will you give him? I find it interesting because how do you know who to match him up against? I mean, he's going to draw big attention, so you don't want to put him against a nobody, but still, I mean, who knows what he's got?
I just started a new show. The pilot is on YouTube. It's called Dana White Looking for a Fight, and I'm actually out looking for opponents for CM Punk right now.
You started a new show. Okay, so I challenge you to name all the shows that you guys have. I challenge you, Dana White.
Yeah, I can't. I don't know. I couldn't. No,
you couldn't.
The two that I'm in are The Ultimate Fighter and Dana White Looking for a Fight. Those are the two I know right now off the top of my head.
The truth now, when it came to Holly Holm defeating Ronda Rousey, when she knocked her down, when she knocked her down, when you knew it was done, what was your immediate reaction? What were you thinking?
Well, me and 57,240 people in the arena were obviously shocked. I'm never shocked at somebody losing, but it's the way that she lost that was so shocking. And then people, you know, obviously everybody's saying, "Oh, he's devastated. He's this, he's that." Listen, I always call myself the bells and whistles guy. We put on all the bells and whistles. We promote the show. They step into the octagon, and whatever happens is determined by them. But in the history of the sport, there's been two people. Chuck Liddell, that I was very close to, and Ronda Rousey, I'm very close to. And, you know, she's one of my very good friends. So to see her lose that way, you know, yeah, it was tough.
Did you think going in, the question isn't so much who would win, but did you think that she was going to be at her best? Because she's had a million distractions, right? I mean, it's if you focus singularly on one thing, you're always going to be better than if you're distracted in a million directions. So what did you think going in?
Yeah, you know, she's super talented and she's so aggressive. The reason she's such a huge star is because she's that type of fighter, anybody, anywhere, anytime. And I made the Holly Holm fight, and everybody criticized me for making that fight. I made the Holly Holm fight because she's the most decorated boxer ever in female boxing, world-class kickboxer who's won world titles, undefeated in MMA, and she had the height and reach advantage. It was the right fight to make. She was the best female fighter in the UFC at the time that hadn't already fought Ronda Rousey.
Didn't really answer the question, though, buddy. I asked you whether or not you thought Ronda was at her best, that she was ready for the fight the way she had been in the past because she had so many distractions. And she said on this show 2 days before the big fight that she was exhausted, that she said, "I have to sell out the entire building myself."
Right, no, it's true. And after the fight, you know, I've talked to her almost every day after the fight. And when she sat down with me and Lorenzo a few days ago, she said, "I was exhausted going into that fight. I was exhausted mentally, physically, emotionally." You know, she had a lot of personal things going on too with her family, and you know, it all. I don't know. I don't know.
Did you?
She's gone in to every fight and beat. Kat Zingano is one of the best fighters in the world. She beat her in 14 seconds. So, I don't know.
At the weigh-in, when she showed something that was really out of character for her, did you think to yourself, "Hey, you know what? Maybe she's in a little bit different position mentally than she had been in the past"? Because a lot of people said that was a clue.
True. No, it was uncharacteristic of her. She doesn't act like that ever, even against a girl like Betch, who said a lot of bad things, and she really didn't like Betch Carrera. And, you know, yeah, it was definitely yeah, I agree with you.
You know, it's interesting because I'm seeing your reaction, and I mean, you just said that you were very close to her and very close to Chuck Liddell. I mean, you kind of seem like you're kind of down for your friend Ronda. Let's take a break. We'll pause. We'll be back with more in a moment with Dana White. Yeah, you know what? We love him still. That's what Matt Hiscox did. He made a couple of great pad saves to deny a breakaway goal in his London Summer Hockey League. Dana White, if you've got an amazing sports highlight, submit your video to the Advil Highlight of the Month contest, tsn.ca/Advil, for a chance to win. Get ready for this, Dana. $25,000. Okay.
I like it.
I thought you would. You would just put it down on the blackjack table. You know, I could take you in blackjack. You know why? Because I studied blackjack, and I think you believe all the fallacies. I know you think that you got them beat and they're going to bar you, but I could take you in that. I couldn't take you in a fight, and I don't want to sign up for that because we're buddies, but blackjack, I think I could.
Let me tell you what. I won a 54-man tournament in Las Vegas against all the pros. I beat all the pros in a 54-man tournament. I would smash you. Smash you.
Because you don't count cards, right?
No, I don't. No.
Okay. So all you're doing is playing the basic strategy. And the basic strategy everyone knows. So the rest of it is just luck. If you're playing on hunches, you're an idiot.
What are you, a big card counter?
I am.
I'll smash you.
GSP.
Smash you at blackjack.
Let's talk about GSP. A big name around here, big name everywhere. He's 34 now. He hasn't fought for more than 2 years. He blames you in part for not returning, saying, if that whole thing had not happened after the fight, maybe I would have already been back. Maybe I would have already given a rematch to Johnny Hendricks.
Yeah, listen, I like George St-Pierre. I respect him. And, you know, it was never anything but class when he fought for us. He was an absolute class act. You know, he took Canada to a whole nother level with the sport and everything else. But he can talk about why he isn't here and why he isn't doing this, and maybe he'll take 6 weeks. George St-Pierre lost the urge to fight. And that's the reality. He lost the urge to fight. It happens. There's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing negative. But, you know, it wasn't because of anything that happened with me or with Lorenzo or anything with the sport. He lost the urge to fight, period. End of story.
But how would you know that? I mean, you're not inside his head. I mean, you can say I disagree with him, but there's no facts here, right? So if he says, you know, I haven't lost my urge to fight, if he says it wasn't part Dana White's fault or Lorenzo's fault, we can't know whether in his consciousness that's real.
It's nobody's fault. You know, I've been dealing with athletes since I was 19 years old, and I saw it in his face after the Johnny Hendricks fight. We went backstage and we talked. You can ask Lorenzo if you ever, when you're in Vegas, I'll hook you up with Lorenzo. I looked at Lorenzo last night and I said, GSP's done.
John Jones.
What? You're crazy. I said, he's done.
Let's talk about John Jones. He's probably not done. With Ariel Helwani, he said last week that the UFC was, quote, very well aware before the fight of Vitor Belfort's failed drug test before UFC 152 in Toronto, in fact, in 2012. But they let him fight anyways. How do you respond to that?
Jones said that?
Yeah, he did.
How would Jones know that?
I don't know. I guess the first question is it true? Did you know beforehand of Belfort that he was going to fail a test?
No, we didn't know that. John Jones, was John Jones in our offices? Did John Jones, you know? Listen, John Jones is somebody who shouldn't be talking about other people's tests and what they're doing.
That's a good point. You have a huge week coming up next week, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. It culminates in UFC 194 on Saturday with a fight that we've all been looking forward to. Paige Van Zandt will fight on Thursday. Then you've got the Ultimate Fighter with Chad Mendes and Frankie Edgar. And then on Saturday, you don't have to promote anything. I got it for you. Aldo McGregor, Weidman versus Rockhold. Sounds pretty good.
Awesome, yeah. Rogan thinks that that Saturday is the best card we've ever done in UFC history, and obviously the fights leading up to it, never been done before. 3 fights in 3 nights in Vegas, all sold out. It's going to be fun. I'm just saying, Rogan's contract with UFC, I believe, is up in August. Just pointing that out. Cool. Yeah. I'll have to jump on that. Yeah. Well, you know what? My people will call your people. Hey, Dana, you've always been a really good friend of this show and a really good friend to me and my family. Good to talk to you. Likewise, buddy, and I'll see you soon in Vegas.